Hey everyone, it's Tony here. I just wanted to make a video in regards to the newly released Peak Design Microclutch and specifically how it works on the Sony A7C. So I'm going to be making a video on essentially how to put it on, how it looks on the camera, and how it works with a camera with real life testing. Specifically with a smaller or larger size lens as well. One thing to note is that for the Sony A7C, due to the screw position being slightly more forward on the camera, it means that it qualifies for the I plate opposed to the L plate, as the L plate would stick out too much if putting it on there. This is in reference to what Peak Design have said is suitable for the A7C itself. So I'll show you guys what's inside and how this all works. Okay guys, well this is what's included inside the Peak Design Microclutch box. Obviously there is the I plate, which I got to be suited to my Sony A7C. You have the Arca plate, which is specific for the Microclutch itself. You have two types of screw sizes, one small and one big, depending if you're going to be using the Arca plate, and the little triangle clip that will go onto your camera as well, so that this little accessory helps you put this on without breaking your nails. Okay, well this is the I plate from Peak Design's Microclutch. So as you can see here, there's a couple of features, such as an anchoring point for your strap if you need to put that in. There's the magnetic tool, which you can quite easily take out and obviously screw your plate onto your camera. Nice rubber material to prevent any sliding, and obviously the adjustable hand strap itself. So this I plate's dimensions are roughly around 15.5 centimeters long, 2.8 centimeters wide, and 0.75 centimeters thick. And it only weighs around 51 grams by itself. However, if you pair it with the Arca plate as well, which you most likely will, then it weighs around 66 grams in total additionally to your camera. So that's something to consider. As you can see here, the Arca plate that's given with the Microclutch is actually different in design. This is because it allows it to essentially clip onto the Arca plate quite seamlessly, and it's quite magnetic, so it stays on, and it also slides to the other side. So it doesn't even stay in the middle, it slides, and it also locks in place so you actually can't even take that out, which is quite a nice touch. Okay, I'm going to be putting the plate onto my Sony A7C, so I just want to make sure I have all my components ready to go. Such. So the first thing you want to do is actually put the screw, the longest screw, because we're going to be using that for the actual Arca plate and Microclutch. We want to screw that in a bit, but not too much, because we actually want space to slide these two plates in. From there you're going to put the Arca plate onto the Microclutch itself, and then as you can see the holes are aligned there, and pop it in the side that you're actually going to obviously have the handle strap, and then you're going to slide it into place. So you want it to be kind of level with the end of the camera handle there, and you want this Arca plate to also be aligned at the end as well, so that's nice and secure. Once you're happy with that, you're just going to grab your screwdriver and then just kind of tighten it up. So as you can see there, that's nice and secure. You're going to use the split ring tool, which you're going to use, essentially I've already put it on, and then that just helps feed that through without breaking your nails. It also comes with a little sleeve as well, which kind of minimizes the jingling sound that these ringers usually make. And then from there, you can see that there's little numbers on here, so you obviously will adjust it to whatever suits your hand. Then feed it through this loop. So I found that I adjusted it like so, giving myself enough space to just fit my two fingers in there, your fifth finger underneath the plate, and obviously your index finger having enough space to actually press the button. So once you have that nice and secure, you can then just feed this end loop into the strap itself, so that hides that away. And that is pretty much how you put on the Microclutch with an Arca plate, which is what I'm assuming most people will be doing. So as you can see here, that's how it fits in my hand. I'm still able to reach the exposure button, and that's how it will look. Okay, so what are the pros of the Peak Design Microclutch? Well, the first thing to note is that due to the fact that I do a lot of travel, hiking, and street photography, I tend to not have any neck or wrist straps on my camera, as I tend to have it on the actual Peak Design camera clip, or I just hold it in my hand as well. So due to that reason, having this microclutch adds a lot more stability and a lot more security that I can just hold my camera without having to worry about it possibly slipping out of my hands. It does feel a bit odd at first in the hands, especially because you got to feed 2 fingers through the actual strap itself, while the other index and pinky finger are actually free to move around. So it's just something that you need to just get used to over time. However, it's worth noting that if you do have a bigger lens, such as on my camera I had the Sigma 28 to 70mm f2.8 lens, since that lens is quite big, with the balance of the microclutch that I actually had to have my pinky finger wrapped around the grip of the camera as well, opposed to sitting underneath the actual plate itself, just to give myself a bit more stability. As someone who already has quite a few Peak Design pieces of equipment with me, adding this to the ensemble essentially just works seamlessly with everything else. I can easily attach it onto my camera clip, I can attach it onto my tripod, and everything just works together so well and so quickly, which is exactly what I want when I'm doing my hiking photography and videography, or my street photography as well. So in terms of the cons, particularly with the Sony A7C, due to the positioning of the screw being quite forward on the camera, it lends itself to the fact that the microclutch does kind of sit a bit weird on the camera and doesn't sit flush with the middle of the body of the camera, which means that the plate does slightly stick out the front, with making it not as streamlined as you'd want it to look, as well as the fact that if you add the Arca plate on top of that, it does add a bit more bulk to the overall camera in itself. So that's just something to consider as well. Obviously, the other major con that a lot of people have brought up is the fact that it does block the battery compartment. However, just from my experience, as I don't often change batteries every so often, I found it not really much of an issue, especially because with the way it's designed, you are able to slip off the actual microclutch plate quite easily to replace the battery if you needed. But it is, however, another step that you need to add if you do want to do that. And if you're trying to change your batteries quickly for whatever reason, then that might be the factor that makes you not buy this product to begin with. So at a cost of 99 AED, you just got to really decide what style of photography you have, and will this microclutch fit in with that style that you have. For me personally, because I do, like I said, I do a lot of hiking and street photography and videography, I tend to use my camera without any kind of strap attached to it, just so I can kind of pick it up and go and shoot if I need to. And therefore it lends itself to the fact that the microclutch is very useful for me, but for someone else it may not be as useful if they're just doing studio photography, for example. It just really depends what suits you best. So that's pretty much my video of the Peak Design Microclutch. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe and like my video, and I'll see you for the next video. See ya.